Hello my old muckers, my name's Cranky as Fozzie and today I'm back with the Whitehawk LLM save. We are back, as you can see, with the Hampton and Richmond match in the Vanarama National. Now this is probably, so far, we've played Welling, who are usually a tough test. Dartford we beat 3-0. Any other really good results there? Yeah, no, this is definitely one of the trickiest fixtures of the season. They're always really well drilled. Let's just take a look at them for a second. Their schedule. They've been banging goals in. As you can see, look, they beat Eastbourne Borough here 6-2. They beat Havant and Waterlooville 4-2, 4-3 there. They lost to Dartford. Chelmsford 5-1. They're banging goals in for fun. Now, their tactics this season is normally a 4-4-2. And they played that against Eastbourne Borough, and I watched the highlights back and they scored some fantastic goals, looking in behind, using the wingers, looking like they're on attack. So we got a bit of a tough game, and if I just take us to, not the Scouts, sorry, bear with me, Hampton and Richmond, my Chief Scout seems to think that they're going to play like this. Now that sort of changes my sort of mentality as to how I approach the game if they do play like that, because with a defensive midfielder playing here, I would usually skip that area. So if I'm trying to attack this area with a player that's going to go into that area, i.e. Logan here on advanced playmaker, he would look to play it in and around here. I would switch that to a deep line playmaker or just the standard centre midfielder or even a ball winning midfielder, but I wouldn't let them go forward, and then I'll just release him, because then you are skipping this section. So you're going to play around the defensive midfielder. You can make them irrelevant if you focus your attacks down the wings. So if any team plays a defensive midfielder, I usually avoid that area like the plague, because when you've got a 3 in front of you and you're trying to break a team down and they're not coming out, it's very tricky to get round. So just go round the wall, don't run through it. Yeah, so on to today's video, I wanted to show you some of the signings that I made for Whitehawk, because if you start a season with these, you will realise they have no strikers at all. So I've literally had to sign almost half a new team. So Hugo Logan, I showed you him before, he's the latest loanee. Jamie Smith was a free youngster I looked to get. Ross Dyer is a target man, very determined. Not the strongest, but I was focusing on playing him on the wings. I wanted to try a wide target man because I've never done it on this game before, and if you get it right, it can be really effective. So I'm going to try and stop saying really, because it only needs one really. Diaz right. This is a midfielder. You've seen him before, I showed you. Ivor Lawton. This is my favourite player. And if you're ever playing a Vanarama National South or North, sign this player. He is amazing. Determination 16, teamwork, work rate, he's captain material, decisions, concentration, composure, bravery, anticipation, aggression. His mentals are perfect. Like, his passing there is 9, his finishing is 6. He's scored some of the best goals we've scored this season. So if you've got the mentals, then you're capable of doing the extra things. So yeah, he's my favourite player. Then we've got my second favourite player, Jaden Antwi. I've showed you him before. He's lightning quick. I have been focusing my training on fitness. I haven't changed from fitness because with LLM, I wanted to make sure, or try to make my team fitter than any other team. So I'm going to do a double helpings of fitness. 3 months is the usual minimum, but I want to do it for 6 months and just see how fit we are. And injury-wise, we're doing quite well, to be fair. Coca here, I signed this centre-back based on the pace that you see there. 13 pace. His strength is okay, stamina, acceleration is very good as well. His tackling is only 10, and position is only 10, heading 9. This is when I'm playing a high line. I will play Coca when I play a high line, and if I play a low line, then I will play Yadalahi, who's got great heading and positioning. So yeah, Cragen is another striker. He's 18 years old. He scores goals. He scores lots of goals. I've found him previous. In fact, it was actually Kyle on the Havant and Waterlooville that showed me this player, and he was just showing me videos back of some of his goals, and Michael Cragen was banging him in for fun. So I was like, I'm going to take a little look at him. Signed him up, and boom, he is free. He's available on a free. In fact, well, Ivor Lawton, Michael Cragen, those two really stand out, and Perry Cotton, them three stand out, and they're all available for free. Matthew Harriet is just a backup defensive midfielder. He's a midfielder centre, but he's got positioning, teamwork, work rate. So I thought, I'm going to use you as a shield, a backup shield. Archie Edwards on loan from Charlton Athletic, brilliant left back, determination, positioning, work rate, aggression, anticipation. Marking and tackling are not the best, but don't let that fool you. When you've got the mentals, it is really, really important that the mentals come before the actual technicals. Technicals are good, obviously, but if you haven't got the mentals to do it, you might only be half-hearted. So yeah, I focus on mentals as much as I can. Perry Cotton is the exception. His determination is 4, but he was the best right back I could find at the time, and yeah, I like him. He's young. He's going to get better. So yeah, that's the transfers. Tactically, because obviously we are playing Hampton and Richmond, who are going to be a tough game. I'm telling you now, it's going to be tough. I did look at their team, and let's just do it together so you can see. I don't want to just say I've done it, but I've focused on their top assists. So they score a lot of goals from their wings, so more so on the left. So what I did is I've locked down my right side at the beginning of the game, and I'm not playing a winger. I'm playing a central midfielder on wide midfield. I've not added any instructions apart from just be a wide midfielder. So it's a central midfielder aimed to be a block on that side. So he's going to help out the fullback on defend there. But if the opposition do play, this, then I'm going to release him. I'm going to say wide midfielder attack, because we're going to go around this. We're going to avoid this area and the box-to-box midfielder. We're going to try and avoid both of those and pin back these wing backs if they are going to be playing like that. If they're playing defensive, highly structured, then basically it's going to be open, because I've gone with counter because I want us to look after the ball when we're up the top here, but I've gone fluid. Now fluid is quite risky against that particular shape because they've got a poacher that could easily get in behind, but as I explained to you previously, if you have a defender on cover, I'm playing a higher line, so I've gone with Coca. Let me just show you Yadalahi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I've probably sound awful, but yeah, he's heading 13, tackling, positioning. He hasn't got the same pace, so I prefer Cadman, if I'm honest. I don't know why, I just seem to get better games out of him. Coca and Cadman are playing, and if I need to drop the line, then I might sub on Yadalahi. Simple as that, really. There's a rule of thumb that I want to explain to you as how how I play the game. Now, I'm going to call it the 5-0 rule. So it's the 5-4-3-2-1-0 rule. Now, what am I talking about? How many players would you like to attack with is where this rule comes into play. Now, if I'm playing if I play a contain or defensive, then I will play with 0 players on attack. If I play counter, I play with 1 on attack. Standard 2 on attack. 3, 4, 5. Now, why do I change to that many on attack if you go on up the ladder in the risk factor or the mentality? Because your passing, as I explained to you before with the defensive line, when you change your mentality, that defensive line goes up and down, but so does the passing directness. Okay, so if you're going up here, the players will seem to make more advanced passes on an attacking mentality, so you need more players running into space to meet those. Imagine through balls. So if you've got lots of players making through balls, you need the players to be making those forward runs to get onto it, and the more high the mentality, the more players need to be making that advance. And then you need to decide, am I going to attack from the back or am I going to attack from the front? If you're attacking from the back, general rule of thumb is, for me, if you're, say for example, you're playing a team that are bottom of the league, they're really fighting, they're the hardest games in my opinion, I usually get everyone up the top and everyone who's in front of the defence to be on support, and then I will get my rear players to come from deep attacking and overload them in that way. Whereas if a team's willing to attack me or 50-50 against me, then I will attack from the front. But sometimes you can mix it up, and I might attack from the front on the left and from the back on the right, and let him overlap the wide midfielder there. But it really comes down to player roles, how you would approach that. But I just wanted you to understand the way I play with the 5-0 rule on attacking players. Okay, when I change mentality in this game, if I need to get a goal, if I go a goal down, for example, then I will up the ante with the mentality, which means I up the amount of players on attack. And general rule of thumb is, when you get a report from your assistant manager, he will go deep into that and he will tell you how many roles you should have. And sometimes I will purposely set every player on defend or every player on attack, just so when the assistant manager tells you, I get an understanding of how many support players you should have, how many attacking, how many defensive, etc. But general rule of thumb is definitely both of these on a defend. Cover and stop are still classed as defend, but if I need to, I might change him to support, and then up the ante on the attacking roles. But yeah, I wanted to lock down the right side of my pitch and release with the left. Okay, and because I'm playing on counter, I'm playing with 1 attacking player, and that's right over here. But that's it. Let's get into the match and see how we're going. So I've picked my team already. I'm a little bit nervous about this. To be honest with you, I want to get a loss out of the way, because we're winning almost every game, and I'm going to tell my team assertively, I expect to win. Okay, and I am going to boost them, and I'm going to tell them assertively, I have faith. Just make sure you can get lots of greens. Here goes. I'm a bit apprehensive about this one, if I'm honest. Okay, so they have gone with that. So straight away, I'm going to keep my eye very closely on here. It's at 0 at the moment. No shots. We're bossing the midfield, but I do anticipate that we would do with the roles that I've picked there. Advanced playmakers, Logan. I may switch to a deep lying, because Yeah, I think I'm going to switch him to a deep lying, and then release Michael Caine on the right as a wide midfielder on attack, because he's quite deep there. That's a great ball. Oh, Antwi, come on, you can do this. That's a great pass though from Caine. Maybe he's all right there on the wide midfielder support. Antwi. If you want possession football, guys. Oh, well, I see us winning this game. If you want... Let me turn this volume down, actually. It's quite loud. I do apologise. I don't know why it's actually coming out my speakers anyway, because I've got my headphones plugged in. Yeah, so if you want to play possession football, guys, you just need to simplify the roles. Anything that's got like dribble more or... Oh, what a goal that is. Oh, that was beautiful. I only caught the finish. Who crossed that in? So we've moved up to first. We've had 4 shots already. So Logan goes home, out to Cotton, takes a touch. First, second touch, third touch, fourth touch. Long ball, in behind. Great finish. Absolutely stunning. Diaz right, he's a central midfielder. He's playing up there on the left wing. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You don't have to play wingers. Wingers are players that will look to run at teams and higher risk. They play with much higher risk. There we go. Now they're starting to grow in my area, but I'm still quite convinced because we've got a decent number in their third. So 40% in the middle, 10% up the top, 6% around us. So there's always going to be a little bit of risk there. Oh, we're dropping, but we're still controlling the middle. They're growing. Right, so let's just pause for a second and have a look. The opposition are playing a wing back on defend on the left. So he's trying to look after right, who has scored against him. So not really an issue. And you've got Edwards supporting him as well. Now Cotton on the right. Deep line forward, deep line playmaker. I'm actually going to release him. Support. Okay, and then because we have now opened them up, and they have to attack us if they want to score. So come at me. Basically, I'm releasing my poacher. I'm letting him now penetrate in behind because I want the opposition to come forward so we can get in behind them. So far, so good. It's midfield is being lost a little bit now. 4 shots to their 1. 58% possession. That's the player roles, guys, that I've picked. Come on, can we get one? Antwi, that's Caine. No one up there. I'd prefer you to build that up, thank you. Look at that massive hole in the middle. Oh, hello! There you go. Easy street. We're playing Hampton and Richmond, who always give us a tough game. And easy street. And that happened because Lawton is a beast. Absolute beast. I do love that player. He scores goals. He's comfortable on the ball. He closes down. Wins the ball. Gets sent off very rarely. I don't think I've ever seen him get injured as well. And I've played a few saves. And every time I play this tier of football, I always sign Ivor Lawton. So he's my number 1 signing. Sign away, guys. Sign away. He's brilliant. I'm going to say I'm very happy with that. Is there anybody that needs a special mention or a kick up the bum? No. I'm going to tell Diaz Wright and Jaden Antwi that I'm happy. Very happy. Looked extremely delighted. It's good. And I do that after the game as well. And if, say for example, you've got a player that Antwi scores a hat-trick. Fingers crossed, you never know. If Antwi was to score a hat-trick, I wouldn't just praise him, because you can go in, speak to your players individually. I will say that to the people that do assists, lots of key passes, key headers, etc. If somebody's done really well, I will tell them. If they've done really bad, I would also tell them. And I find that the players' consistency. Oh, Antoi's loving it. He's on it. That's why he's so good at this level, and it's a penalty. 3-0. We're demolishing this team. Absolutely demolishing them. Go on, Antwi. Go on, my boy. Lovely. 3-0. Easy streak. See, doing my homework before the game, I looked at the opposition. I saw where is their threats coming from. Whoa. 16% in our half. Right. Let's do something about this. Where are... Wrong one. Team analysis. I do a lot of research on this as well. Hampton and Richmond. Average positions with the ball. Oh, wrong one. I'm guessing they've released some of these midfielders into their... I don't know how that's going to help me actually. Okay. Let's put you on support. And defensive forward support. I'm going to attack. Central midfield attack. Push higher up. That's all I'm going to do. So I haven't had to change mentality. So it's usually when I go a goal down, I'm like, I put more attacking players on, then the mentality goes up, and then the 5-0 rule. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, right. What happened here? So Crawford's come running in. Edwards, that was awful. You're supposed to watch your runner, mate. Right. So in this scenario, he's already been beat once. I'm not going to let that happen again. What am I doing? Wakey, wakey! Let's shore it up a little bit now. And wide midfielder support. Let's go poacher on attack. And we're going to move the mentality up. Cover. Defend. Okay. So we're in the 57th minute. It's 3-1. The opposition have grown into the game. They're very wide. I'm thinking I need to extend my width to match them a bit, because we're giving up the wings. In fact, their wing back on the right, sorry, wing back on the left is on attack. There you go, we've pinned them back now. Ivor Lawton, Davies, that's a lovely pass. Antwi, can you do it? Oh, a lovely finish. Lovely finish, lovely save. Right, a couple more subs now. Let's bring on Michael Cragen for Antwi, let's give him a rest. And Marsh Brown for Michael Caine, and then you can go winger on attack. Let's go. So I've basically shut down the left side and released the right now. But I don't see any threat from the opposition. No, I think that's it. I think it's safe to say that we've won this match. Or am I speaking too soon? Oh, should never say that really, but this tells a story. So does this. Very, very happy with the season so far, guys. My content is very raw. I'm not editing any of these videos. I'm literally just playing as they are. Raw data, raw footage. This is me, and I know a lot of people like to edit and get it perfect. I don't want perfect. I just want raw. I want you to see that this is it. I will make mistakes tactically. I do make mistakes tactically. It's all trial and error, but the reason why I play on comprehensive most of the time is because I can see it in front of me, and then I can make decisions. They're still playing wider than me. He's going home, out to the wing on the right. Takes on one, tries to cross it in, and it's closed down. Marsh Brown picks it up, looking long. Davies goes home, out to right. Look at, oh, it's a beautiful pass. Make that, Marsh Brown. That's it. Lovely. Inside. Oh. I thought he was going to try and pick out Cleggan there. But yeah, it's easy street, isn't it? Absolutely easy. I'm making this game look really easy, if I'm honest. I am considering doing some streaming, but I need to find sort of scheduling times and sort of organise all of that. But yeah, I'm going to set up the Twitch. I need to do a lot more graphic design, logos. I haven't done any of that, if I'm honest. I need to do it, and I will. But with regards to this Whitehawk save, what do you think? What's your thoughts? We are doing really, really well. I'm surprising myself. I've got Whitehawk promoted. This is probably third time now, if I do it again. And last time as champion. So I've done it before, but if you, let me just run through this. If you sort of spend the wage budget and you go over, and that's what I've done twice before, and why I started again, is because the following season, if you're over this, you get literally no money to spend. You can't sign anybody. I did pick up a good tip that you should only sign your players on a 1-year deal if you want to try and get back-to-back promotions. So previously I would offer them contracts, I'd promise them the world, just to get players. Like Lawton on this one, I paid him £7,000 up front to get him. But yeah, I know the player, I know what I really wanted him, and I basically spent what I could on him. So yeah, as I said, don't just praise Antwi. So he scored 2 goals. Diaz right. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to tell you, praise last game. You were superb in front of goal. Thanks, boss. You're welcome. Anything else? Assist 1. Ivor Lawton. Speak about. Praise player. Praise last game. And quality chances created. Yes, there you go. He likes that. And on the flip side, if they played really badly, tell them. So the general rule with my team is if they were between if they're 6.3 and below, I will kick them up the bum. If they're between a 6.7 and a 7, I will say you played well. And if they're above a 7.1, sorry, a 7.3, I say you impressed me out there. And then obviously if you get ridiculous scores like 8.6 here, then, or 9.0s, etc., then I will say your performance was amazing. There's a tier. It's generally quite easy to spot when you're selecting the right option. The numbers will sort of like marry up with the words that you can see there. Like the obvious ones do step out when they've performed really well. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. When will we come back? I will look. So Bath is a tough game, but that's sort of like one after next, so I'm not in a rush to come back for that. Let's come back for the FA Cup first round proper. We've got through all the qualifying rounds, and we're in the first round against Solihull Moors, which, to be honest with you, 20th in the Vanarama National, and we're first in ours. I think we can turn them over, you know. Confidence is going to be low for them, very high for us. So I'm going to pick the first team, make sure they're ready, because at this level, the cups are our bread and butter. So, yep, that's it. I'm going to leave it there, but thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.